Alright everybody, so today is the 3rd of August, and today is kind of a quicker one, I guess. It's a topic that came up on Twitter, someone was asking about, and I replied to them there, but I kind of wanted to give a longer reply too. So the question was basically, when do I start doing a recomposition as opposed to a bulk or a cut? And this is kind of a slippery topic because I think that most people already are not in a position where they need to worry about the concept of recomping. So for those that don't understand, I've talked about this before, but typically the easiest way to gain muscle and to look good is to do a bulk, which, basically you're eating a crap ton of calories, you're gaining some fat, but you're gaining a lot of muscle in the process. And then, you do a cut in which you're cutting down your calories, you're losing weight, trying to lose that fat while maintaining as much of the muscle that you built as possible. Get really lean, look really good. Awesome. It's a tried and true method. It's been used by bodybuilders a lot, and that's, because bodybuilders are the guys and girls that need to have the most muscle mass, so it tends to make the most sense. Now, in contrast to that, recomposition is when you're basically just staying at the same body weight and you are improving your body composition there. And so what that means is that you're slowly going to get more lean, you're slowly going to build more muscle, you're going to slowly take away that fat. But the thing is that because you're doing it while staying at the same weight, hormonally and just in terms of your body doesn't like it as much. It's not as easy to build muscle, it's not as easy to lose fat because it's primed to do those activities during the bulk of the cut. Versus when you are at a maintenance, not so much. It's just sort of, it's not ideal in terms of, either of those activities. Now, does that mean it can't be done? Well, of course it can be done. It can be done. The question is whether it's worthwhile to do. And for some people, particularly some physique athletes who aren't too heavy to begin with, they can actually get away with basically remaining pretty shredded and jacked all year round, and that's because they basically are constantly in sort of a recomp phase. Now, does that work well for non-athletes? Does that work well for everyday guys and gals? Not so much, I would say. And the biggest problem is that a lot of guys and girls, they're not in a position to need a recomp in the first place. Like they're not really, they don't have enough. Like if you start off and you're a really skinny guy, and you're training like you're going to recomp, you don't have any muscle to begin with. You don't have much of any muscle to begin with. So you're really not going to, not much is going to happen. You're not going to go anywhere. That's what I did for, years when I started working out and I wasn't really trying to, gain or lose weight or anything. I was basically just spinning my wheels, sitting at the same weight, getting a little bit leaner, not much, but, not getting stronger and, not looking particularly great either. So basically, the person's question was that they're currently in a cut. They started off a bit overweight. They've been trying to lose weight, but they're wondering, at what point do I stop? At what point have I reached a good weight? Do I just stop there? So that's extremely arbitrary. There are certainly calculators out there on the internet. I recommend, Dr. Casey Butts' website, or you can search Greg Knuckles, maximum strength potential. I'm bad today. I'm sorry, guys. But the point is, there are calculators out there that are pretty scientific that actually do a pretty good job of predicting kind of what a good weight to be at is. And Greg's website in particular has basically a calculator that calculates sort of the maximum weight that you can theoretically attain a 12% body fat at, which for most people is, is good, is all you need. It's 12% for guys. It's a little different for women. And that's based on, variables like your height, your frame size, your joints, all that stuff. So basically, I would say, you can plug your weight into that calculator. It'll give you a number that's probably around ideal for you. And then you can just, get to that weight, stick to it, recomp once you hit there. At the same time, I still think that sometimes mini bulks and mini cuts can be useful for people, simply to kind of jolt them out of their existing patterns of behavior. So even if you're gaining and losing just 5 pounds at a time or so, it doesn't have to be a massive change. It doesn't have to be a huge gain or loss each time. But that can be an effective way, to cycle between, weight gain and weight loss in order to, help that a little bit more. In terms of recomping, it's very doable. You just got to keep your protein high. Typically you want to keep your calories a little bit under maintenance, but not much. Or a little bit over maintenance, but not much, depending on kind of what you're doing. And you just hammer away at it for a while, and theoretically sooner or later you reach an acceptable level of leanness. At the same time, I don't know. I've not personally had this much experience with recomping, but I would say that there's probably a certain limit that you'll hit, where you'll be like, oh, I want to be leaner, but I'm not. It's not really happening with this recomp. That's the point where you really might need to, cut down a little bit more. But in general, I would say, the kind of weight that you want to stick to is completely arbitrary. It can be whatever you want. I really do believe that you can be healthy at a much greater range of weights than a lot of people assume, and BMI, can kind of point us in the right direction, but it's really not a good picture of the equation. So I would say, don't listen to the haters. If you like a certain body weight, if you like where you're at, if you feel that you look good at that weight, just stay there, and yeah, you can focus on recomping, getting a little bit leaner or whatever. But it's entirely up to you. There's no set limit. There's no hard, this is what you should be going for. It's not really based specifically on your height. Some people seem to think it's entirely based on your height. That's not really true. Everyone's body kind of has a certain point that it likes to be at, and that's, something for you to find out on your own. So, experiment a little bit. Figure out what works for you, stick there. And that is really all that I have to say about the subject. So, as always, like, comment, share, tell other people, all that stuff. Tell me what you want to see in the future, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.